now, I'm counting the cost. You can help me, it's a matter of fact. Tell me you'll come home with me. I've got to win you back. Life's a shit to see I'm on my own. I never meant to lose you. Come back to me, I'm all alone. I'll show you I can't help you. Life's a shit to see I'm on my own.
Now, hi and welcome to the show, where we've held captive from last week the boy band sensations of the day, Upside Down and Gemini! Also in the house today are a couple of veteran heartthrobs who have a few cautionary tales of their own. Actor Davy Jones! Now, he first got his name when he played Edith Sharple's grandson in Coronation Street, before shooting to international stardom as lead singer of the Monkees, and singer Les McEwen. Former, of course, of the Bay City Rollers, probably one of the first teeny bopper bands with a manufactured image, is still performing some 20 years later. Please welcome all of my guests. Hi, it's like, wow. Bye-bye, baby, baby, goodbye. And the Monkees, I mean, I was watching it all the time. What do you think of boy bands? Do you have any advice to give them?
Well, you can always take advice, you know. As they say in the racing game, never refuse a leg up, so... But, yeah, the only advice, really, you've got to deal with it as it comes. And when you're confronted with a situation, whether it be financially or career-wise, just think about it and keep in touch. I have always kept in touch with my family, my friends. I still know the same guys I had my first job with back in 1960. I've been doing it since 1960, actually. I've been in the business 35 years. The Monkees' 30th anniversary this year.
You don't look a day over sort of like 35. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
What is your skincare routine?
Just eat healthy, exercise, and just sort of like enjoy life.
Right, enjoy life. Okay, Les, what would you say about boy bands? What advice would you give them?
Lovely. Yeah. What can I say? They should treat it like it's one big party, one big Saturday night. And when they wake up on the Sunday morning, they can start the next life.
Okay, what do you actually think about Upside Down, who you've just seen perform?
I watched the documentary they did as well. I think they're great. Brilliant.
Okay, so what about adulation? How do you cope with the amount of girls in the studio audience that have said to me, I want to hug them, I want to do this, I want to do that, and think also with Gemini. How do you cope with that adulation? How do you keep your feet on the ground when women want you all over the place?
Well, when I started...
I think just go with the flow.
Should you go with the flow?
Absolutely. You're only young once, you know.
When I started out, I was 6'2". I was ridiculous.
You went too much with the flow.
Most of my girlfriends don't know whether to walk me home or dribble me home.
I mean, are you really saying to them, so that all girls that actually fancy them, they should take advantage of that? Or would you say get one girlfriend and stay, have a steady relationship? Or should they... No.
I think the guys should get one steady relationship, but the girls should take advantage of them.
Should they take advantage of the girls, though?
Well, that's really up to the individual, isn't it?
Right. So, you were in boy bands of the time. Did you make lots of money? I mean, would you give them any advice on how to manage the amount of money they could well be making in the future?
Well, they say everybody the first time around, you lose all your money, which is what most people do. Just be very careful. Don't go crazy, you know. Don't do anything really crazy, like, you know, buy yourself a Rolls Royce the first check you get.
Right.
Don't go down to Savile Row, you know. Just keep doing the things you normally do. Keep in touch with yourself.
But it's quite hard, isn't it? If you didn't have any money initially and now you've got, you know, a wealth, it seems, of income, how do you not go out and buy whatever suit you want, or how do you keep yourself grounded?
I think Dave's right. You should keep your feet on the ground, but at the same time, remember, there's a Saturday night in every week. Go out and have a good time. Spend it.
Right. Now, we met in last week's show, the managers of Upside Down. How important is management?
It's the most important part of a career. It's to have someone you can rely on and trust. It's very difficult to find somebody who is honest all the way down the line, but you become a partner with your manager, and you must listen to him. If you don't listen to people, then you'll just go wandering off into nowhere eventually. And a good manager, you know, you look at somebody like Elvis Presley. I mean, his career was managed very well. He couldn't manage his own life, but his career was managed very well. A manager is most important, to find the best manager you can.
More important than your parents' advice?
Well, I don't think the guy who managed Elvis Presley did a very good job, because he was just thinking about the public and the selling side of Elvis Presley, not his personal life. And not that that's probably any of his business, but he, you know, he could
Well, it
have
is in a
helped
way. You have to also consider, obviously, if you're a manager, I'm sure that it's not all bad. There's more good in the world than there is bad, and that's the same way in show business. If you work very hard, and you've got people around you that are working hard for you, it all mixes and matches.
Right.
And obviously, you've got to take advice from your parents. You always never...
But which comes first? Who do you listen to first? Your parents say not to do something, but your management say, yes, I want you to do that because it's going to further your career. It's going to push the sales of the record wherever.
Just listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. Are you listening to all of this, guys? Is image very important?
I would think so. Well...
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So I remember all the tartan stuff.
Colourful, and the kids all loved it, and yeah.
Right.
Oh, look, Mummy, a new toy.
Did you have an image consultant as to why you went all tartan?
What's that? An image consultant, I thought, oh, yeah, you might have them these days, but in our day, no, you never
Oh,
had
really?
that. No, no, no.
It wasn't taken as seriously then?
No, it was just, the way we got our image was a fan had drawn a picture of us with this tartan down our suits. And we just sort of copied it, I suppose.
Right. But nowadays, Ian Levine, who is the
It's a lot
producer
more
of...
intelligent these days, isn't it?
Oh, do you know him as well? Who is the producer
Saw him
of
on the
Upside
telly.
Down's first single and I think the album. How important is image opposed to talent?
Talent comes first, but you cannot sell an act of this type without getting the image absolutely spot on. Because remember that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of talented people out there. To have star quality, you must be able to sing and look good and have the right image, and people have got to want to fantasize about you.
Right.
And we're creating here people want to put posters all over their bedrooms that people will follow for several years of their life, probably from 14 right through to 18, 19, 20. And if it isn't good enough, they'll just forget you and go on to the next act that comes along. You've got to be better than everybody else. There's no set rule, Crystal. You can't say this act, just because other acts have lasted 5 years, they will. Some acts will last 1 year, some acts will last 10. These people can all sing. If they carry on making good records and the public buys them, they'll be here for many years to come.
Right, but Les, you could also sing.
Yes, absolutely.
But the Bay City Rollers are no longer. So what happens when it all goes?
Lots of different things happen. You start to grow up and realise that you just finished a big party, and it's time to start thinking about making some money and putting it in your pocket.
So were you making money as lead singer of the Bay City
You had
Rollers?
lots and lots of money when it was happening, but of course you spend it all travelling in limousines and first class all over the world and taking all your personal equipment and family everywhere. So you do spend a lot. And one day the bill comes in and it's payday.
Right, okay, Davy?
Come on, Dave.
I still work. I travel in America mostly, all over the world. I perform with a band. So, to me, it's absolutely never been any different than the school play. I kind of keep my feet on the ground, and if I can make money and I have little luxuries here and there. I mean, last week I rode a winner at Lingfield Racetrack as a jockey, you know. So I spend my time doing all kinds of different things.
Okay, listen, we've got two legends here. Would you like to ask them any questions? Upside Down and Gemini?
For me? What horse are you riding next week?
I'll actually ride at Sandown on March the 3rd, a horse called Dig Fast.
Right.
We'll have a little bit.
I mean, the Monkeys were like a manufactured band. I mean, now, I don't know whether it was the same in America, but boy bands, or especially manufactured boy bands, the critics are out for them.
They call them baby bands in the States.
Oh, right, I see. I mean, how did you cope with it then, or wasn't it such a big deal?
Well, we didn't really, because it wasn't anything that really was pushing us in the face all the
You
time.
were sort of put together as an acting kind of thing,
We were
really,
put
weren't
together
you?
as a television show, which was about a band. It was more or less like a hard day's night on television every week. But when people sort of like said we were sort of copying this band, or we were like the Beatles, whatever, John Lennon said it. He said we weren't like the Beatles, we were more like the Marx Brothers. So we were a comedy act, like you guys, manufactured. Just because you're rehearsing and getting your thing together doesn't mean that it's any less valid. You're rehearsing, you're getting it right.
There's a lot of hard
Your
work as
producers
well.
and your managers are getting the whole thing together. You don't go out there willy-nilly. You've got to be well rehearsed when you greet the public. You can't just go out there in your nutty. You know?
So do you feel under attack?
There are a lot of people with a critical eye. A lot of people won't pass judgment until they've actually met us.
It's far easier to be critical than correct.
Right.
And there's a great American man said, success is not to be measured by the position you reach in life, but by the obstacles you overcome to reach that success.
Wonderful. What a brilliant... I think we shall take a break on that very positive note. But we'll be back in just a moment with the audience members asking personal questions of everybody here. Back soon. Hi, welcome back. Now we have here a studio full of fans, all desperate to quiz their idol. So who wants to go first? Question? Yes, what would you like to ask?
This question is really approached to Upside Down. When one member of the group is favoured more than the other, how do the rest of you feel?
I don't think it's a problem. I think there's going to be different levels. I mean, I know that we've experienced in the fact that Jamie does get all the fan mail. The way we look at it is, you know, he is the person that most of the fans will relate to. So, you know, we don't see it as a dig at us or anything like that.
Right.
It's just that as we are a unit. We are a team that works together. And if it wasn't for two or three other guys, I wouldn't be doing the job that I'm doing. If it wasn't for us three guys, Jamie wouldn't be doing the job that he's doing. So that's why I look at it that way.
So, Jamie, how do you feel about getting all the adulation?
Well, I mean, I don't really. It's just that, I mean, because Chris is, you know, the oldest one out of the group, he gets most of the older fans. And I think maybe that the younger fans have got more to relate to me than they would have Chris.
Right.
You know, so it just works like that. I don't think I get more adoration than the rest of the guys. It's just most of the young fans write to me.
Right. Okay, okay. Another question? Back here? Okay.
How hard is it to learn the dances?
Do you want to learn one?
Do you? Yeah. Oh, come on then, let's see what happens.
We're going to do a bit of the dance that we did tonight. Okay, it's called like a shepherd's say, right? Okay, so you start with it facing the back. Okay, you ready? What you want to do is you jump like that. No, other way, and then turn around. Okay, then you do what's it next? Punch. Do punch and
we got it wrong.
down like that.
Did you enjoy your experience dancing with a member of Upside Down?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, wonderful. Thanks very much for doing that as well. Any more questions here?
What makes you so different to any other boy group that is out there, or any other male soloists? Yeah.
I think it's the fact that we are basically trying to be as honest as we can be. We're not going to lie about the fact that we may have girlfriends, that we go out on a Saturday night and get drunk, whether we, you know, whatever. I'm not going to lie about my age. I'm not going to lie about the fact that I'm 22. I was advised to, but at the end of the day, why? You know.
And also, the fact that we all sing on our records is something which, as Ian Levine was saying earlier, doesn't always happen.
Is that anything there?
Yeah.
And you also, so not just singing the lead, but you do the backing, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You don't bring in backing singers, you do it all yourself. I think that's excellent in this day.
I saw the documentary on you lot, and you seem to be quite manufactured. I was wondering if you had any careers to fall back on, just in case your career doesn't become as successful as you want it to be.
Well, I used to work at a bank. I worked in a bank for 5 years, and then I worked, as you know, as a waiter.
And then he bought it.
I bought the company. And Giles, you know, studying to being, got his university to fall back on.
Can I ask both groups if there's anyone in particular that they admire or they want to be like?
I mean, there's a lot of people that we admire. I mean,
Such as?
I mean, we were brought up on quite... we were brought up on quite a wide variety of music because both our parents sing, so the whole family's quite musical. So, I mean, we listen to all the great singer-songwriters. Michael Jackson, we're a big fan of Michael Jackson, and we think he writes some great stuff, and he's very talented.
We're just great lovers of songs, I think, really, more than anything. Just music, you know, and like people like Oasis nowadays and stuff like that, you know.
So it's different styles as well?
Yeah, a lot of different styles.
Yeah, a real wide variety of stuff.
We've got an older brother who's a rocker, you know, so we're into a lot of rock stuff as well.
Yeah. Bon Jovi, people like that.
My mum
you know,
likes
everybody.
Barbra Streisand, and Davy likes Barbra Streisand as well.
Well, I think it's good. So, I like Oasis, I like Barbra Streisand, so I mean...
It's a wide variety, really, you know, of music.
Okay, next question.
What annoys myself and probably thousands of other girls is that, like with Take That, first it was Robbie and now they've all split up. It's no respect to the fans, and the fans have spent thousands of pounds on the garments and going to see the concerts, and myself, I've got battered. I've been grounded for going to see Take That, and would you ever think of doing this?
I would say the instance with Take That, if Robbie wasn't happy in the band, I'm sure you as fans that like Robbie and respect Robbie wouldn't have wanted him to be doing something that he wasn't happy doing.
But on the same note, you know, we are very happy with what we're doing at the moment, you know.
Just correcting this here, you know, for the record.
Should write to Watchdog or something. Consumers Affairs.
Say that again.
I'm just saying, just think, I feel I'm stuck with him forever.
It's very hard for us to split up.
Exactly, but is it better because you are related opposed to someone that's put together because of their talents?
Well, I mean, obviously, it helps a lot more, I think, if you... I mean, obviously, you know, we're brothers and we've got a close relationship. We've got a strong bond between us, and that helps a lot, you know. But, I mean, we're great mates as well, you know, just like the guys there, you know, just good mates, and we're just in it to enjoy it, really, you know.
Also, the audience is just part of the whole thing. It's the consumer, the end, you know, receiver of all the good work that the people do. So all these things are put together in order somebody should spend the money on it.
You don't start thinking about what you're going to do if you don't make it, because that doesn't come into the equation.
But should they be thinking about that?
Absolutely not. They should
When
be
they're
out
20,
there
they can think about it.
kicking butt, you know, and doing what they're doing now.
Gemini, has your success changed you at all?
Just the hair.
Change their hair a lot of time.
No, no, not at all, really. I mean, we're still the same as we were before we've had 2 top 40 hits with the first 2 singles, and we're still exactly the same as we were, you know, 7 or 8 months ago, even with the fans, with everybody.
I think people do say, oh, you've changed. Oh, they say to me when I come back from America, I've been there since I was 15 years old, they say, you sound so American, so I start talking like this, you know. So I go, but yeah, people do. It's quite interesting that.
Also, they say you don't look anything like your pictures on your records. I mean, they're holding a record that's 25 years old.
Okay, your question?
It's upside down into Gemini. Who's your ideal girl?
Ideal girl? I don't know, really. I mean, there's a lot of things that I go for in a girl. Like, I mean, you know, I like down-to-earth girls, very homely. You know, I don't like sort of bimbo types.
I thought you were going to re-record Love the One You're With.
What's more important, brains or brawn?
I mean, brains, I suppose, isn't it? I mean,
in a woman?
In a woman, yes.
In a woman, yeah.
Brawn?
Brains.
I like brawn on the side.
Yeah.
So intelligence, you want the woman to be intelligent as well as pretty and have...
Yeah, I mean, there's
What's
nothing
all that
worse
about
than...
Not too flamboyant and over the top. I mean.
Not too flamboyant?
But no, not really, not too much over the top, just sort of level-headed.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. I see Upside Down are keeping quiet now. Why is this?
Because there's so many different girls in the audience.
It's something you can actually put a dot on. I mean, if you meet the right person, no matter what they look like, you know you're the one for them, and it's just going to happen.
This is Gemini and Upside Down. What's it like when you're walking down the street and no one's ever recognised you and now they've started to recognise you? now you're famous.
That's what you're in it for. You want the fame and the fortune. You're in it for that buzz. And I mean, it is very weird to take in. You know, initially when you see like a lot of fans and they're all sort of mobbing you, and you sort of think to yourself, God, are they really doing it for me? You know, and then you obviously walking down the street and somebody recognises you. But I mean, right. But you know, it's just one of those things you have to sort of get used to, I suppose. Well, you know, just part of the job, you know. But I mean, you have to be careful, sort of the places that you used to go to before. You know, it's can't pick your nose in public anymore. No.
So everyone's watching. What about you? Because it's new for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you getting used to it?
Well, I mean, at the moment, I can still relatively safely walk around Reading, where I come from. You know, and I would expect the people there would know me more, sort of thing. So on that respect, no, it hasn't hit us, or hasn't hit me personally to that degree, and I'm enjoying it because I know what is hopefully to come if the success is going to come then. Hopefully that'll come with it.
Now, the last word to these two legends up here, these heartthrobs. If you could redo your life, would you do it the same or would you do it differently? Davy first.
There are things I'd like to change. You know, if you have no regrets, then I think you're a fool. But I, for the most part, I've enjoyed what I've done so far. And I'm looking forward to, you know, doing more in show business. This year's the Monkeys' 30th anniversary, and we'll be out on the road again, so we may be coming to your town.
Wow, wonderful. And Les?
Well, this year is our 50th anniversary.
all right, Jay.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't change anything, really. I'd probably just, maybe I've put a couple of pounds aside for my old age, but I don't know if I'll reach that old, I don't know. I'm okay. I'm going along, doing the gigs. I'm still famous from the old days. People still come along to see us. I've got an opportunity to do different things. And I'm not involved in that high-pressure, high-sale anymore, which is great. I don't have to deal with all the holes that are around, you know what I mean? And I don't like that part of the business, and I'm not involved in it anymore, so I'm glad about that.
Are the press still interested in what you're doing?
Only when there's a, for instance, when you call me up, or every time there's a new manufactured band or something like that, all us oldies get some work, you know what I mean? So it's great, keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Wonderful. So basically the message is to enjoy it for as long as you possibly can. That's all we've got time for today, but now to sing us out are Gemini with their first chart hit, Even Though You Broke My Heart.
Just before you go, oh girl, I've got to let you know, if you need me, I'll be there for you. I know you see me as a friend, but I'm in love, I can't pretend. So if you need me, baby, let me know. And if you need somebody to turn to, baby, I'll be there. And if you need somebody to love you, baby, I'll be there. Even though you broke my heart, darling, I'll be there for you no matter where you are. I would swim an ocean, I would fly amongst the stars, darling, to be where you are. Even though you broke my heart, darling, I'll be there for you no matter where you are. I would swim an ocean, I would fly amongst the stars.
Best offer I've had all week. Now, when a young lad from Manchester answered an ad looking for 4 insane boys aged between 17 to 21, he never realised he was about to join a band which was to rival the Beatles. All 4 of them became recording and TV stars as the Monkeys, but the front man was undoubtedly my next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Davy Jones.
Hello.
Hello.